How's it going, guys? This is the Loewenator and welcome to another video on the channel today. So today is a very special video in terms of we're doing a fighting game video today. So if you guys are here for the Pokemon content, I'm sorry, today is going to be a Pokemon video and this. So what this video is going to be is my first ever Street Fighter 6 video upload since the game has come out. Process that for a second. Ever since I have been uploading on this channel, I haven't uploaded an actual fully functional Street Fighter 6 video since the beta. So what I want to do today, what exactly do I want to do today? What exactly took you this long to do it? I just wanted to play off screen. I don't really like uploading fighting game videos as much as I used to, but that doesn't mean I don't like uploading them in terms of like, it's not that I don't like doing them. I just prefer to play ranked off screen, but I like doing other stuff on screen, if that makes sense. Like any training or any like labbing or like setups or whatever. I like doing like fun stuff on a video. And if I play ranked on a video, I just get too angry at this game. I get too cussy and I get too, I don't know, I get mad a lot. So it's not very entertaining content unless you guys are okay with me getting all crazy at the game all the time. But what I want to do today, stop rambling, get to the point, is I wanted to do a little bit of a beginner Jamie guide from my perspective. So I'm going to explain the character, the changes he got, and a little bit of an overview to get started on Jamie. And this will be from my perspective, because I am a Jamie main. I have been playing him since the very beginning. I did do a little bit of Ken in the beta, but it's been Jamie throughout the entirety of the game. I don't like Mai that much. I thought I would like Mai because I used her in KOF 15, but her game plan is just really stupid in this game, so I really just don't want to use it. So I'm still going to rock my boy Jamie. And I'm going to bring you guys into the character and see what I can teach you guys from my perspective. So if you guys are excited for today's video on the channel, if you guys are happy to see some Street Fighter 6 on the channel, make sure you hit that like button down below for us, because it's always appreciated. Your support on any of the videos we do on here is always very cool, and let me know if this actually helps you guys in a way. So this is the Street Fighter 6 Jamie Beginner's Guide by yours truly, the Loewenator. I hope you guys enjoy. So let's go back to basics like any other person would, and just kind of focus on what gets started on him. So I have him at 0 drinks. So normally you would drink in neutral or drink in the game to get his abilities. But let's just go from the beginning. So right now you can see by the drive bar, when you take a drink, he has 1 drink. We're not going to do that right now. So first, what we're going to do to start off is his normals. So as usual in this game, you have a jab, a medium punch, a stand heavy punch. You have a light kick, a medium kick, and a heavy kick. So all these buttons have different strengths, obviously. So his stand jab is okay without a drink, but at the same time, it has very low range and a very bad hitbox, so you're not going to use it for that much. So I would say stray away from this button unless you get a level 1 drink. Then his jab goes farther. So I would say without a drink, don't even touch this button. It's not that good unless you drive rush. When you drive rush, it becomes really plus and you can go for a throw. But other than that, like, what else are you going to... When are you going to go for this move? I would say just stay away from it unless you're drive rushing. And yeah, I would just not really go for it. And in terms of medium punch, now this is where you start getting to the basics of like Jamie's pressure game. This is where it gets a little easier. So this is Jamie's button that you want to press when you get in. When you get in that ass. When you're in on the character, in the corner per se, you want to use stand medium punch a lot. This is one of Jamie's better buttons in neutral, and in neutral you don't want to throw it out a lot. You kind of want to use it on pressure only and in combos. That's his main use of stand medium punch, it being plus on block. And for anybody in the beginning levels that don't know what that means, which if you don't know a thing called frame data, the bar on the bottom, the black bar on the bottom shows you when it's your turn and when it's not your turn to attack. That's basically what this meter is based on. So if you throw out a button and you see the 5F turn green or blue, that means it's your turn to attack. You're allowed to go first. But if it's red, like if it is at the bottom, then it's not your turn, and the opponent can hit before you. Because if you go for an attack, they can hit you out of it, and you'll take damage. So that's basically how frame data works, a short overview. But Jamie's standing heavy punches next. We're going to stop rambling before I go on all day. But stand heavy punch is his next button. This one's really good. This is probably one of his better buttons in the game. Because not only is it a heavy button, and not only does it do good drive damage, but because it does half a drive meter. Sorry, I have Ryu set to EXDP after a block button. So it does really good damage to drive meter. It does half a bar. So if you do this twice, they're already down 1 bar. So it's really good for pressure sequences, and it's really good for plus frames. Obviously, it's not plus on block if you do it regular. But if you drive rush stand fierce, you're +1. So it's a really good button for pressure and stuff like that. And it pulls you forward. So if you walk out of throw range, if someone tries to walk up to you and throw you, if someone tries to walk up and throw you, you can kind of go out of it and punish and walk out of their range and do a stand heavy punch. So it's really good for that. So I would say. So it has its uses. Light kick, I would say, is good for combos as well. Medium kick is more good for poking. So if someone tries to go low forward on you, or low medium kick, as they call it in regular terms. If they try and go for more low forward and neutral, that's your button you're going to use more. That's the button you're going to poke with mostly. And crouch medium kick as well. But we'll get to his crouching normals in a sec. And as well as heavy kick. Heavy kick is another button you're going to be using a lot. You're going to be using that to whiff punish a lot too. So these are his main buttons you want to use. Is probably stand medium kick, crouching medium kick, and standing heavy kick. Those are like his best buttons. But obviously you'll mix in his stand medium punch on for pressure when they're in the corner, and they go for medium punches into throw. Or you can go for like stand fierce and walk back, stand fierce, and kind of keep them guessing. That's basically what you want to do as Jamie when you get like knockdowns and stuff with his normals. So his crouching normals, they're pretty good. Crouch jab is really good for doing strings. You want to go for this when you want them to block multiple normals, and so you can counter hit them. You want to use this for frame traps, is basically what I'm trying to say. I'm rambling, I'm sorry. But you want to use this for frame traps because lights, even though they're minus on block, if you press them multiple times, they are really fast buttons still, so they will still counter hit your opponent if they try and mash. So that's what you want to use his crouching jab for, as well as his standing light kick. Crouching light kick is not as good though. Also crouch medium punch or crouch heavy punch, and then you have a light kick, crouch medium kick, which I told you from previous. This is like his general button that you want to go into. His button that you generally want to go into drive rush with, as well as stand medium kick, and then you also have heavy kick as well for drive rush. But I would say his best buttons are stand medium kick, crouching medium kick, and stand heavy kick in terms of like poking. But basically those are the normals. So let's get into the drink mechanic. I don't want to bore you guys too much, but let's get into the drink mechanic now. So Jamie is kind of a limited character in this game, specifically because he needs this mechanic to get started. So I'm going to show you guys a move that he gets in each drink level. So when you drink your first drink, which by the way, to do this move, by the way, if you guys don't know how to do it, it is down, down, any punch. So if you press down, down, heavy punch, down, down, medium punch, down, down, light punch, it's going to give you a drink. It doesn't matter. Even if you do well, actually, you can't do. Even if you do 3 punches, it'll give you a drink. As long as it ends with a punch, you'll get the drink. But you can't do down, down, drive impact, or else you'll just get DI. But to get the drink, it's down, down, punch. So once you get to level 1 drink, like I said before about his stand jab, it having really shit range. Once you get that level 1 drink, though, his jab becomes way more accessible. It becomes way longer, and it becomes more longer and more viable. So you definitely want to use this more in neutral when you get one drink, because not only does he have a long jab that can hit them from farther away, he also gets a target combo. So if they're not blocking and they get hit, you can do 3 hits, which is really good for combos as well. So when you get that first drink, you can go target combo to heavy DP, and you can get some solid damage there. So in his first drink, he gets the target combo. There's also another move that he gets, though. In level 1 drink, he also gets a dive kick, which is really nice. So this is I would say, in my opinion, playing Jamie for 2 years, this game, I really, really love having a dive kick character that I could actually... Like, me playing a dive kick character now is really fun. I used to be a Ken main in the beginning stages of Street Fighter V, and then I kind of transitioned into Zeku and Ibuki and Vega into the more of the ninja style characters. But I did play Zeku at the very end of the life cycle. So Zeku is more based on like mix-ups and flip mix-ups and stuff like that. But Jamie has the dive kick for mix-ups too. He can mix up his pressure with dive kicks. He can make his dive kick plus with the right angle, stuff like that. So you definitely want to use this dive kick a lot in neutral against fireballs. You definitely just want to use it at specific timings. When you feel like they're being too patient, you can do this for free if they're not looking for it. But I would refrain from spamming it, because some people are just only looking for the dive kick, and they could DP you and then drive rush pressure, and then you're in the blender. So just try not to spam it too much in the lower rank. In the lower rankings, it'll work for sure. They won't be ready for the dive kick, because you can get sweep in a drink. So they won't be ready for it in the lower ranks. But once you start getting into more like Diamond and Master, they'll start looking for it a little bit more. But this is for more beginners. So I would say, you guys, abuse this dive kick till the crows come home. I swear to God, it is one of his best normals, other than the moves that we're going to get into in a bit. But after the dive kick and the target combo, we start getting into layer 2. So this is when drink level number 2 gets a little bit more structured. So this is when he starts getting a new ability that goes through fireballs called Bakai, which is a spin kick that he does with down, towards, and kick. So basically what it is it looks like this. It's a spin kick that goes through fireballs. Last season, it was really bad because you were only able to do EX to fully go through fireballs. The other ones would get smacked. But in this version, in Season 2, they buffed it to complete fireball / projectile invincibility. So if you were ever Ryu or Ken or Akuma and you threw a fireball, normally in Season 1, you would just get... this would happen. So it's like before, if you tried to do it like that, you would get punish countered. And it would just be like, well, what the hell? Why does he have a projectile invincible kick if he gets hit out of it, right? So what they did in Street Fighter 6 Season 2 is they made this... Sorry, I need to get to level 2 drink. So what they did... They made it a lot more invincible in this game. So now you can go full screen and literally just go through fireballs whenever you need to. So that's what this move is used for. It's used for going through fireballs, and it's really strong in combos as well, obviously. Most of his moves are good in combos. But I would say the best use of it is either using heavy or EX to go through fireballs, or just using them to go for like really good combos like this. Which is really, really cool. And you can even do the same thing with his dive kick. His dive kick, you can even go like this, and you can go into the light spin kick and get pressure. You're +2 in their face. So just like try and mix those moves together, and use your stam eating kick and crouch meeting kick to kind of drive rush and get the combos into Oki. So if you're a beginner and you don't know what Oki is, it's basically it's your turn as soon as they get up off the ground. So if I do light DP and dash up twice, this is what's called Oki because you're plus. It's your turn to attack. you have the pressure and you're starting your offense. That's basically what is what we mean when we say Okazemi, or Oki for short. So now that we talked about drink 1 and drink 2, let's go over to drink 3. So this is where Jamie starts to get a little bit more powerful in terms of he gets a little bit of a damage boost, because at level 2 drink, he goes into the same damage as every other character in the game. So that's why he's a bit limited in his power. I feel like if they give him the same damage as everyone else in this previous game, and then keep the same damage buff at level 3, I think he'd be a lot better. But I don't know. I'm not sure how to buff his drink system in terms of the damage, because if they start giving him damage buffs after drink level 1, people will start screaming at us and start wanting us to stop playing. No, like, they want us to like completely delete the character, and I don't want that. But we're going on to level 3 now. So level 3 drink, we have the command grab, which if you guys have played fighting games for, at least in other games, you know that he at least, let's do the specific settings in training mode here. Let's put him to level 3 by default. So if you guys have played fighting games, you'll know that characters do have command grabs. Like, it's part of fighting games. There's going to be a character with a command throw. In Street Fighter V, Alex had a command throw, Zangief had a command throw, Armika had a command throw. In Street Fighter 4, Hakan, E Honda, you get it. But yeah, characters have command throws, and they actually gave one to Jamie in this game. So the command grab is forward, down, back, kick. That's how you input the command. And it's actually really good because you get a combo off of it, which is nice, right? It is a bit risky because if they jump it or backdash it or avoid it, you'll get punished really huge. So obviously, if I'm Ryu in the corner and I jump over his command grab, I can get a full jump in, punish counter combo into like almost half your health. So you definitely have to be sparing with it, and you have to know that they're not going to jump it or avoid it. But once you do get it, you can go for really nice combos with it. You can go into like medium punch, target combo into DP, and then you can get a free drink off of that. Or you can go into stand medium punch into target combo. You can do EX. I'll kind of lift them up and go into that. You don't get Oki off of a double dash, but you get Oki if you drive rush. But that's pretty much everything in terms of the drink mechanics. He gets the target combo, the dive kick, which I'm screwing it up already as a Jamie main. That's pretty sad. He gets the dive kick. He gets the command throw at level 3. And then he also gets the Bakai, that thing that goes through fireballs, at drink 2. So after he's at drink 2, he gets that, and then he gets everything else at level 3. So at level 3, he's a complete character, but you have to get to that first, which obviously is the hard part about playing this character. So if you guys are okay with like working up to your potential, then he's really fun and very rewarding when you get all the drinks. And then once you get to hit level 4, this is where stuff gets interesting. This is where his normals change a little bit in terms of forward heavy kick. So this is another normal. I should have mentioned his command normals and stuff like that, because he has overhead. Sorry, by the way, I didn't mention his command normals, but he has a back heavy punch. Let me switch to level 2 really quick, guys. So he has a back heavy punch, which is really good for avoiding pressure tools and avoiding and doing like a really cool surprise attack and drive rush. So that's what back heavy punch would be used for. So if people are pressuring you, and so let's say if Ryu is up here pressuring you, and you want him to get off of you a little bit sooner, you can go for back heavy punch, and you can kind of catch them by surprise. So back heavy punch is a really good normal if you want to like catch them by surprise if they're being a little too overconfident in their pressure, and you want to catch them slipping a little bit and get them in on a punish counter. And you can punish counter back heavy punch will combo into target combo, and then you can go into DP or something, or you can go into Bakai, or even swagger step. So that is obviously another move that he gets. He gets the palm as well. So I don't know why I don't mention these moves before, but the palm is also really good. This is called swagger step. So you obviously want to use this in neutral. It's kind of like Terry's burn knuckle, if you guys have seen that move. Obviously, he's one of the new characters in this game. If you guys have seen him do lots of burn knuckle in a mid screen, in the mid screen. This is what Jamie has as his. He has the swagger step, which is the palm. He has light, which goes a very short distance. He has the medium, which goes half distance, and then he has the full, almost full screen version in the heavy. Heavy goes the farthest distance next to OD, which is overdrive, which is replaced EX. But this one goes the farthest. But heavy is a very, very quick contender, very short contender for the farthest after OD. So swagger step you want to use a lot in neutral as well if they're not throwing any fireballs at you and if they're kind of just like walking back and forth. Most of the time in the beginning ranks you will catch people off guard. So it's really good to use this in neutral. And then after that, I would say after all that is explained, I would say basically what do you want to do with Jamie in the beginning ranks? What is your main game plan? Obviously, the obvious, your main game plan is to get drinks, but you don't want to just sit there and try and just take drinks whenever you want, because it's very easy for characters to hit you out of your drink because they don't carry on to the next round. So what you want to do is you want to focus on using those pokes that I talked about before, stand medium kick, crouch medium kick into Rekka, and you want to focus on using these normals into your Rekka strings, getting your drinks, so that you get your dive kick, and then once you start getting your target combo, you can go into another drink. And obviously when you're in the corner it changes because you can go into your OD version and get +1 off of that, so you can go for basic pressure. But other than that, you want to just make sure that you poke with your best buttons into your Rekka so you can get your drinks off and so you can get his abilities. You want his drinks to make him a little bit more viable against the cast so that you could do OD dive kick into the uppercut. That's how you're going to get most of your damage. But obviously what you want to do is you want to take it slow at first and just kind of try and walk him to the corner as much as possible. You still want to do footsies with Jamie and do like the basic stuff you would with every character. Your goal is to walk your opponent to the corner, so that's what you want to accomplish with Jamie still. In my experience, as a Master Rank player, I focus on just seeing what the person does in neutral and what kind of habits they do, because sometimes they'll go for like a crouching light punch. They'll go for a crouching light punch and then they'll just drive rush in your face. Some of them will kind of like backdash, walk up a little bit, and then jump. Like, players will show you their habits in round 1 as data. You'll basically use round 1 as data on everything. As Jamie, you kind of want to keep it patient until you get your drinks, and then you want to start like trying to impose your will on them as much as you can. And if they stop you, go back to neutral and try other ways to get in. So obviously if you're just standing around there hitting you with fireballs, read their fireball timings and kind of like use the parry and stuff and try and absorb the fireballs and use his projectile tool, like anti-projectile tool, to get past the fireballs. And then that's when you can start mixing in your dive kicks into your dragon punch and then start like using your palm in neutral and stuff like that and getting your drinks in. So once you get your drinks in, you'll start to get a little bit more, when you start to get a little bit more comfortable, that's when you can start like practicing like your anti-airs and stuff like that. Which, this is important, by the way, guys. I want to preface this and say that this is probably going to be one of the most important things about not just with Jamie, but with every single character in this game. You definitely want to focus on anti-airs. You do not want people jumping in on you in this game, because it could be in life or death. Like, literally jumping in is like one of the most common things you'll see in the beginning rank. So if you're a rookie up to maybe gold 5 or platinum 1, you'll see jump-ins a lot. Like, I'm not even kidding. Like, even in master rank, I see like uncomfortable jump-in angles, and I'll get jumped in on from like half screen, and I'll try an anti-air, and they'll do a move that makes your anti-air miss, and then you take 50%, and it's just like, well, what the hell did I do that for? That wasn't even worth it. So really use your anti-airs as, like, try and stay in your anti-air range. And for Jamie, that's arrow kick. Obviously, that's going to be his dragon punch. His anti-air is going to be arrow kick. So you want to basically You want to use his drag. You want to do this as like a kind of a mini drill a little bit. Just practice your anti-airs, because in the beginning ranks, that's probably one of the main things you're going to want to stop. Jump-ins, and I would say that's like the main baseline, I would say, for beginners. You definitely want people to stop jumping at you because they're going to do it a shit ton. Like, if I've learned anything from starting out in this game, people jumped at me constantly in the low ranks when it came to like gold into platinum and stuff like that. When I was playing the beta, like learning this game for the first time, it was like people would jump on me constantly, and it was just so miserable. But yeah, that's mostly Jamie's anti-air. But what you can also use is crouch heavy punch. Crouch heavy punch is also a really good anti-air if you want to use this. And other tools that I want to mention is his, oh yeah, another one, his sweep. So his crouching heavy kick, this is one of his crouching normals. So not only for drinks, not only do you have the Rekka to get drinks, and his throw as well. There's so many things I forget to mention. I just ramble on and don't say the important things. So throw is your basic throw, where he punches you in the face twice and hits you with his shoulder. And he gets a throw loop, obviously. So if you take your opponent to the corner, you can also get a throw loop, so you can dash in and throw them constantly. And the cool thing about this is if you throw loop them in the corner, and they try and like tech the throw, sometimes you can actually dash back, and that's the mix-up. And the good thing about it too is you can actually walk up and throw as well. So you can do that. And then if they try and... yeah, so that's the one thing I forgot to mention, is that he has a throw that gives him a throw loop, and it also gives him the drink as well. I should be mentioning these like important things about Jamie. So not only does he get a drink off of his Rekka, like this, and just by going down, down, punch, like I told you in the beginning of the video, but he also gets a drink off of his sweep. So why this is so good is because, oh yeah, also a really good honorable mention too, this normal right here, down 2 kicks, which is pressing down and either light kick and any of the 2 kicks together, will give you this big step kick, or whatever. Press any variation of kicks, you do whatever you want. For me, I have my L2 set to 2 kicks, so I can get EXTP easier. So just pressing down R2 is down L2 is even easier for me. So if you want to do that, you absolutely can. But this is a really great normal because it combos into the sweep, which can give you the drink as well. So obviously, the drink is really good out of sweep, because once you press crouching R2 on your stick or whatever into punch, you get the drink, which is really nice because most of those combos in the corner and stuff like that involve sweep. So you can go into OD palm and get the sweep into the drink, and you're plus 4 in their face, which is incredible because you can go for crouch medium punch, you can go for crouch jab into throw, and then you can go into like crouching jab into light kick, and then go into the back fierce and stuff like that to start your pressure. You can even go for medium punch after, and they'll if they try and throw, it'll blow it up. It's just a lot of options that Jamie has in terms of getting the drinks. So all you have to do is just utilize them properly and just take it slow and practice your anti-airs and stuff like that, and use your main poking tools to get your drinks. And then once you get to level 1 drink, you can start using your dive kick to get in a little bit. And then you can start going into your second drink, which gives you your projectile invincible move. And then you can start getting into your command grab in the third drink, and so on and so forth. So now that we're into, basically we've talked about pretty much everything that Jamie has. So sorry I didn't get into this and get into these buttons, but what I'm going to do is kind of give you guys a last minute overview before I end the video. In terms of like, I'm going to give you guys a couple of like really cool bread and butter combos. Yes, they will include Drive Rush, but I feel like canceling your moves into Drive Rush is more easier than just doing it raw, because sometimes the opponent will try and do it to you, and it'll freeze the screen, and then you'll mess up your input, and you'll get discouraged. So if you get hit by Drive Rush, don't be discouraged. Just take a deep breath, take it one game at a time, and you'll get there, I promise. You'll get there with Jamie. He's really fun and really rewarding once you start understanding how his drinks works and how his mechanics work and stuff like that. Once you start getting the hang of this stuff, it gets a lot easier in terms of being able to navigate where he is on screen, being able to counter poke everybody, and it'll get a lot more easier. So the last portion of the video, what I want to do is I want to show you guys a couple of bread and butters that beginning players can do to kind of get them started. So I'll be right back. I'm going to do some bread and butter combos for you guys. I'll see you guys in a second. So those are a little bit of Jamie's kind of easier combos to kind of get you guys started. So I know a couple of these combos have the Drive Rush mechanic on them. So let me just kind of walk you through a couple of the combos that I just did. So basically, obviously how Drive Rush works is you cancel one of your normals and press medium kick and medium punch at the same time. And that's how you do a Drive Rush cancel. You press the button that you want to press that is cancelable into Drive Rush, and you press the button after you hit the opponent. So what I did here is I jumped in and did Crouch Fierce into Drive Rush. And that will start the combo. And I went into Stand Medium Punch, Crouching Heavy Punch into Dragon Punch. That was at least the first combo that I did. That's a good bread and butter for beginners if you guys want to practice that a few times. And also, obviously if you want to start with lights, you can too. I think that might be a little easier, but the other combo that I showed is going into the Rekka, which is also good. And then I showed you the dive kick into sweep. And I also showed you some of the moves that he gets with his anti-fireball move, which is called Bakai. And then I also did a combo where I went into Swagger Step. Yeah, so basically mixing up these moves and these combos are going to be really beneficial for you guys. And you saw I did the Stand Medium Kick into this. That's one combo you can guys do. You can even do the palm. You don't have to spend the 2 bars of OD to get that. You can get that anyways, and then you can also do the TP. I'm messing up the DP cancel. There you go. So I think before I end this video, the last thing I want to talk about is his supers. So his first super is down forward kick, which is his level 1, and it is his level 1 super is pretty good. Yeah, it's basically one of his moves that's really good for combos. It's invincible on his wake up, so if you get knocked down onto the floor, if you get knocked down on the floor and they go for a mix-up on you, obviously you can counter with your super. So it has invincibility, so they can't hit you on your wake up if they try to attack. That's one thing that's good about this super. So use this for combos and on your wake up if you really want to get your opponent off of them. But tread carefully because they can bait it and they can block it and punish you for a big combo. So his level 2, on the other hand, is called the Devil's Song. It is his level 2, which gives him all 4 drinks right off the bat. So let me at least look at his first super. So it's called Breakin'. So obviously it's his breakdance. And level 2 is the Devil's Song. I love how it's called Getsuka Saiho, because I want to show you guys something cool in a second. But yeah, so level 2 is his Devil's Song, which gives him all 4 drinks right away. So you get the command grab, you get the anti-fireball option, you get the target combo, and you get the dive kick. You get everything. And it's really cool, because if you're in Season 2 of Street Fighter 6, if you have 1 or more drinks, and you go into the Devil's Song, and as you see, as the super bar goes down, the yellow bar at the bottom, once it disappears, you keep your 2 drinks. See, that was one of the buffs in Season 2. So it's kind of nice how they gave him that. So that's what his level 2 does. It gives him a short duration of time to have all of his entire toolkit for a short amount of time. So generally you'll want to save level 2 for the last round. Or like rounds that you think you're going to beat them. Even if you're up a round and you feel like you're going to win, and you just want to rush them down and end the round fast, I would do level 2. But a general rule I would say is wait till the very last round to do level 2. Because next thing you know, you have no meter and you're going to the final round with no resources. So I would not do that. Even in the beginning ranks, it's important to know how much meter you have. But let's get into the last one, my favorite. So this is called Gensuka Saiho, and this is his level 3. This is one of my favorite supers. This is my favorite super in the game for a couple of reasons. One is that, honestly, for a level 3, it does decent damage. But what you can do is you can combo off of it. But obviously it has intermediate to advanced, like, stuff like that. Yeah, so you can combo off of it, which is really cool. So if you guys want to mess around with that, you can. I would just kind of... So if you guys want a little bit of a bread and butter in his level 3, I would generally go for something like this. I think you guys should practice this in the beginning ranks. Yeah, I think you guys should practice this. I thought I had my recording settings set a little differently. But let's actually... Yeah, so that's one that's one combo I would suggest. Is kind of go into Dragon Punch and kind of start your corner pressure from there. You can go for throw, or you can go for medium punch into throw, or medium punch into crouch jab to catch them pressing buttons and stuff like that. The list goes on, but for beginners, for right now, I would stick to practicing drive rush into 2 kicks so you can get the launcher, because it's really good. It leads into the crouching HK, which goes into the drink, and it just gives you more resources. But also another way you can make this a little bit more easier is if you just kind of cancel into the palm. That's another way you can do it. And I think if you do this, if you do OD, if you do overdrive swagger step, which is the palm, yeah, you can do that and then you can get a free drink. So that's another good thing. So those are his supers, and those are basically all the stuff that I feel should help a little bit get you started in terms of like going from rookie to at least gold to platinum. So I would say that pretty much wraps it up, I think. I think I've talked about maybe more general basics of the character. I know it was in typical rambling fashion, but if you guys want to get started on the character, I feel like I took care of most of the basic stuff that you should know. And if I missed anything, let me know. And I hope this was at least a little bit useful. I'm sorry if it was a huge rambling type of video, but I just wanted to go from my perspective. Obviously, if you guys want to go into a more advanced Jamie guide, JB has a really good advanced guide. So I'll link that video in the description if you guys want to go watch it. If you guys want a more advanced guide and you guys are looking for more advanced Jamie. But thank you guys so much for watching. This is going to do it for me. This has been the Loewenator. Hope this was useful a little bit. Let me know if I missed anything in the comment section. And if you guys want to see more Street Fighter 6 content on the channel, let me know. And yeah, hit that like button for me if you enjoyed, and subscribe for more Pokemon and Street Fighter 6 videos. That's what I'll be uploading on this channel. But I want to thank you guys so much for watching. Have a great weekend, you guys, and go rock out with Jamie with me and hit the streets, as Luke would say. Thanks for watching the Jamie Guide, guys. Hope you guys are okay after seeing this video. Hope you guys are getting started with the character, are a little bit more excited about it, and want to give Jamie a try. I think you guys should. He's really fun and really rewarding. But I'm going to get out of here. Have a good day, guys. Thank you so much for watching. This has been the Loewenator. Peace.